Okay, let's dive in. It sounds a bit strange at first, doesn't it? Connecting top-tier athletes with uh, kitchen appliances.
It does, yeah. But this Midea Taste Tactics series with the Manchester City players, it really seems to have hit on something quite special.
Right. So today we're unpacking how did this content series find that sweet spot for fan engagement?
Exactly. We've looked at a few things here. The YouTube video itself, which is pretty revealing.
Yeah, the one with Grealish, Stones, and Bobb.
That's the one. Plus some great insights from the Brando Group on the branding side and articles covering the whole initiative and the Midea brand itself.
So our mission really is to figure out the strategy behind it. What makes this specific content series work so well?
Okay, the basic idea, the core of Taste Tactics. It's asking these Man City players about food, specifically food that reminds them of home.
And then recreating it, which honestly is kind of brilliant.
It is, because you suddenly see these elite athletes, people you usually only see on the pitch, in a totally different setting, a kitchen.
And the YouTube video title even leans into that, right? Mentioning chaos with Grealish, Stones, and Bobb cooking. It sets expectations for something less than perfect.
Definitely. And you see it play out. There's Reid, the Michelin chef, sort of patiently guiding John Stones with the lamb.
While Jack Grealish is facing like a mountain of cabbage for his puree.
Exactly. And Oscar Bobb handling chili. And they're all using Midea appliances, the oven, the rice cooker, the air fryer. It's very visible.
But it's the human moments, isn't it? The relatable stuff. John nearly spilling something hot, the jokes about way too much cabbage.
Yeah, that relatability is key. It makes these huge stars seem, well, more like us. Struggling a bit in the kitchen sometimes.
And it's not just random cooking. They made that Trebble Winners lamb barley stew in the video.
Right, directly linked to their big win in Istanbul. So the food tells a story about the team's success, a specific place. It adds another layer.
So let's talk about Midea, the brand behind all this. Pronounced my dear, apparently.
Yeah, which is interesting in itself. And as the Brando Group pointed out, while it's huge in China, like really common in households there.
It might not be as familiar to everyone listening, maybe outside of Asia.
Correct. So their goal is pretty clear. Globalize the brand. Get that wider recognition.
And their slogan, make yourself at home, feels absolutely crucial here.
It really does. It ties directly into this whole taste tactics concept. The Brando Group really stressed this isn't just a catchy phrase for Midea.
More fundamental.
Seems so. It reflects their focus on understanding, what makes people feel comfortable, secure at home.
Yeah.
And they're linking their products to that feeling.
Which makes perfect sense when you connect it to food. Because food and home, that link is incredibly powerful, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you live far from where you grew up. A certain dish, a smell, a taste, it can just instantly transport you back.
Takes you right back to childhood, family kitchens.
Exactly. Very strong nostalgic triggers. And for the Man City players who come from all over the world but live in Manchester.
Those specific dishes from their home countries must mean a lot.
For sure. The Brando Group mentioned that recreating these meals is often something the players do anyway, just to get that comforting taste of home. Midea just tapped into that existing behavior.
But they didn't just, collect recipes and post them online. They were smarter than that.
Much smarter. They brought in collaborators, famous local food influencers, even Michelin-starred chefs like we saw with Reid.
That's a really interesting strategic move. Why do that?
Well, a couple of reasons. First, it adds credibility and a certain polish, right? A Michelin chef showing you how means it's serious food.
Okay, yeah.
But also, these experts didn't just cook for the players, they showed the fans how to make these dishes step by step, using the Midea appliances, of course.
So it becomes interactive. It encourages fans to actually try it themselves.
Precisely. It shifts from just watching content to potentially participating. And that level of engagement apparently was huge. People wanted more.
And the variety of dishes is pretty amazing when you list them out. It really shows the international makeup of the team.
Totally. You've got things like sterling pie, Riyadh's pasta, Ellie's Sunday roast. That's Lauren Hemp, right? No, Ellie Roebuck.
Ah, okay. Then Kevin's spinach ricotta cannelloni. Johnny's chocolate cake. That must be Stones. Jack's salmon teriyaki.
Gabriel's arroz com feijão, classic Brazilian comfort food. Zavaletta's asado, Argentinian barbecue legend.
Haaland even has Haaland's hot pies. And then you get quite specific ones like Palmer's peas.
Stone's brew, presumably tea or coffee. And then the big ones like the Trebble Winners lamb barley stew and a 10th anniversary meat and potato pie.
It paints a really rich picture, doesn't it? Each dish feels personal.
It really does. And if you want to see this whole thing in action, how Midea and the Brando Group executed it.
You really should watch that YouTube video, the one making the Trebble Winners stew on the Main Man City channel. It captures the vibe perfectly.
Absolutely. And beyond just that one video, the Brando Group's own platforms, their website, and especially their Instagram have more.
Yeah, they've got posts and videos that give you a broader look at the whole taste tactics campaign. Definitely worth checking out if this has piqued your interest.
We'll make sure the links are in the show notes for you so they're easy to find.
Great. Now, speaking of the Brando Group, they have this philosophy, this credo they operate by, B plus E.
B plus A, yeah. It sounds simple, but there's a bit more to it.
Right. It's not just about getting a good grade. It stands for a whole set of ideas, like be more connected,
Be more inspired. Be more challenged.
be more consulted, be more trained,
Be smarter. Be more confident.
and kind of overarching all that, just be more positive.
Exactly. It's like a framework for growth, really, for individuals, but also for brands, enabling them to achieve more, connect better.
You can sort of see how taste tactics fits into that, can't you? It's about connecting the brand, Midea, with fans, connected, inspiring them with recipes,
Yeah.
inspired, maybe even challenging them to cook.
Yeah, it embodies a lot of those B+ principles in practice. It's about enabling potential, creating positive experiences.
So if you found this discussion interesting, look at how the Brando Group helped find that connection between, well, ovens and Erling Haaland.
And you're curious about the broader world of global branding, the art and science behind it.
Then we definitely encourage you to explore some of the other B+ deep dives we've done. There are plenty more insights to uncover.
Absolutely. And just to leave you with a thought, this whole campaign, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, it's about seeing the potential connections where others might not. The Brando Group looked at football, looked at home appliances, and found the bridge, food. That shared, deeply human experience.
It makes you wonder what other unexpected connections are out there waiting to be found just by focusing on those fundamental human truths.
Exactly. Something to think about.